Hello everyone, welcome to BIO2104, your microbiology with lab course. I am Professor Jenny Kettler. I'm going to be your instructor for this semester. We are going to go through this video to show you how to access your e-text, your lab kit labs, virtual labs, talk about where to find certain things because it can be a little confusing in this particular course. So the first thing is that whenever you log in, there will be this home page. There are announcements that are listed here. You're going to want to check those announcements every 2 to 3 days because I post important stuff. If you ever need to see past announcements, you can always just click on the announcements button and it will show you through everything that you need to see. Now, because it's kind of the start of the course, there's not really a whole lot there. You'll see this video once I post that. The other thing to kind of be mindful of is that eventually, and for some of you it may already be here, there will be a link here and it will look like this and it will say your lab kit FAQs. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that just so that way you can see. But that's always the first question that students have is like, how do I get my lab kit? What do I do? There's a lot of panic that surrounds it. So the first thing is that you've already paid for your lab kit. So you should not have to pay for it. Like if you log into Science Interactive and it asks you to pay for it, you already did that. So don't do that. Please do not opt out of having the lab kit sent to you. You need it for this course. In fact, if you don't order it and you don't get it, you're going to end up failing the course because you can only miss like 3 either lab kit labs or virtual labs, and then you're automatically put on a failure list. So you definitely need your lab kit. So what will happen is, I know it says when you sign in for the first time, a pop-up will ask you. This pop-up will not appear until after the census date. So if you need to know the census date, here's kind of like a current list, but you can also find the census date in your syllabus. So you can always look at that as well. So that is when the pop-up will appear on this home screen. And it is very vital that you put in your address that you want the kit shipped to. It can't be a P.O. box. It needs to be a regular address. There's some other things in here about, like if you don't give the address on time, you're not going to get an extension for your labs. Like that's kind of on you. So make sure you get this taken care of as quickly as possible. You should get a confirmation email sent to your student account. And then typically the lab kits are ordered after the drop date, 1 to 2 days after the drop date. And then they take about 7 to 10 business days to get there. So you don't need to panic if by like week 3 you don't have your lab kit yet. Like it takes a little bit to get there. So the next thing to look at is going to be going to your content tab. And this lists all of your, what you need to do week by week. Now, depending on if you're in a 15-week course or a 10-week course, this will appear a little bit different. But you'll have your syllabus and you'll have your schedule. The schedule is really, really important because, again, no assignments are going to be accepted after the due date. So the deadlines are hard deadlines. Late work's not accepted. And again, this particular course has a rule that any 3 missing either lab kit labs or virtual labs makes it so that you automatically fail the course. So you want to be mindful of that. So you've got a kind of breakdown of what you're going to be doing each week. So like in week 1, we have a discussion. You'll note that the discussion has 2 different due dates. So you have to post your initial post by this date, and then you need 2 peer replies on separate days, but you have to get them in before the discussion closes on Sunday. So The other thing to kind of be mindful of is the virtual labs that are listed here. And then the lab kit labs, I've tried to tell you how many days it'll take to complete it, and what you need to keep from that lab. So for instance, in lab 2, 5 to 6 days to complete it. So you want to plan accordingly, right, to make sure you get it done, so you can submit it by Thursday. And then you want to make sure that you keep all cultures for those labs. I do have videos for each lab that I post in the class announcements, and I send in a class email every Monday. So that way you can watch it and know how to navigate how to do the lab and what you should be kind of paying attention to and looking out for. So just be mindful of looking for those materials. So if you click on the week that you need to go into, so we're going to just start with week 1. Here's your acknowledgement that you have to fill out saying that you understand that you read the syllabus and the schedule and that you understand about the missing labs policy. You've got your discussion post, and then you have your readings and quizzes and then virtual labs. So these are actually all done through through Connect. Now I'm going to go ahead and switch to my teacher account because it will not let me log in to Connect as a student. So essentially, if you're going to go in to read the chapter, you click on it and you should get a page like this. If you don't have a Connect account, it will prompt you to connect or to create one. So you're going to want to do that, and then you can get into your assignment. So if you click launch assignment, it should take you straight to the textbook. Now, if you go to the home page, your view will look like this. So you'll have your assignments in each unit. It'll tell you, when it's due, what you should complete. You can launch things from here if you need to. But the other thing that I kind of want you guys to see is this microbiology relevancy module. You'll need this for your discussions. So if it'll take you in, it'll probably kick you into the first module. So if we look at our discussions, I also tell you how to get to it from here as well. So you can always use this video if you get confused. So in discussion 2, it says read through the global health relevancy module. So it is referring to this, and you just go over here and find global health, click on it, and read through the information that you need to read through, and then you go in and answer the discussion question. So if we go to discussion 3, it says, okay, read through biotechnology. Again, we go to the relevancy module, we find where it says biotechnology. So you can see they're not in order, right? Because that one's a little bit further down. So that is what it's referring to in the discussions. So the next thing that we're going to look at is your lab kit labs. So your first lab kit is in week, whichever week you're in, but it'll be lab 1. And so and again, there's going to be a separate video for this, but you have links that you will use to get into Science Interactive. Now, lab 1 does not require a lab kit, so don't panic if it's time to do lab 1 and you don't have the kit. You don't need it. So what you will have to do is you'll have to click on this link, and it will most likely prompt you to create an account in Science Interactive, and then it should take you directly here. And you have underneath each tab, you have all these different lessons that you have to do and questions under each one. So you want to make sure that you're going through each tab, and then you'll get to the final report. And what you'll do is you'll hit Control P on your device, computer, and you want to save it as a PDF. And once you save it, then yeah. Then you can go in to the assignment itself, and you should be able to upload whatever submission you need to upload. After you finish the getting started link, you cannot go in here and go directly to the lesson. It will not kind of capture it, if you will. So you have to get back out and go into this one. And then once you finish this one, you come back to this page and you go to lab kit inventory. And once you finish that, you come back here and you do your microbiology rules for success. And that's whenever you know you're done. But there's directions in each one. So just to kind of give you an idea about when you do need your lab kit, that will start with here we go. Okay. So that will start with lab 2. Lab 2 is whenever you will need your lab kit. And again, this has the directions, and this is the link that will take you directly to Science Interactive to allow you to go in and do your work. If you click on the assignments tab, you have your assignments listed here and when they are due. Again, it's a hard deadline, cannot submit it afterwards. Your discussions tab gets you into all your discussions. There's nothing in the quizzes tab because all the chapter quizzes and exams are through Connect. If you click on the grades tab, it should, let's not do that. It should give you there we go. Should give you a list of your assignments for that week, how many points you earned out of the points that are available. If I left any comments, they'll be listed here. Your class list, if you need to contact me, you can scroll down to my name, hit send internal message, and you can type out your message and send it to me. That's actually the best way to get in touch with me, is sending it through D2L. The next thing that's kind of important is your resources tab. So if you have any technical issues, you can't get into Connect, you can't get into Science Interactive, anything having to do with any kind of technology, go to the support desk. They are there 24/7. You can call them in the middle of the night and they will answer. There is online tutoring for any of the subjects that we cover, so you can use that. For some of you, this in-person tutoring might be available, but it really just depends on whether you're in a course specific to your college or if you're in what's known as a pooled course, where there's people from kind of all over the state taking this class. So it really just depends. So that's kind of your overview. If you encounter any issues or you're not sure about anything, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help. And I look forward to working with all of you this semester.